Hey, Bulldog TV fans. We're back for another edition of the Coach Adkins Show, and we're here with Coach Adkins. It's homecoming week. It's a fun week to be around the school, I'm sure, in the hallways. Little extra something for you. It's kind of a homecoming for you. Your home coming to you, and that being Charleston, where you grew up and played football down there. What is the meaning of that to you, having Charleston playing that? There's probably a little something extra there, isn't there?
You know, kind of like I told the kids this week, truthfully, I have no ties to Charleston anymore, thankful for the years of growing up there and then playing there and then getting my coaching career started there. Certainly, thankful for all of that. But I have nothing weighing me down there in Charleston anymore, and the kids know that this is my home now, and as thankful as I am for the past, this is where I'm at now, and this is where I want to be, and this is what I care most about. And so, although, it's the red and gold and it's the Trojan helmet, that I'm familiar with, for us it's just another game, and it's another opponent that gets to come here, this Friday night, and another opportunity for us to get better. So I know, everybody might think that it means a little something extra, but like I mentioned, I have no family there. They've all moved away, and my mom and dad are down south in Florida, and so I have no ties to even take me back there for a family reunion, so to speak. So, nope, just another opportunity, and I'm cheering for the Bulldogs for sure.
Well, you're definitely home now here in Mahomet-Seymour, so we're glad to have you, that's for sure. Talk about Charleston. They come in 0-4. They lost to Lincoln, who we just beat last week, 63-14. How do you get the team motivated for a game like this that you should come in and dominate, quite frankly? How do you get the boys motivated for this game?
Yeah, I think that's a great point, and I think you said it best. I think we know what we're supposed to do, and I've kind of preached to the kids, this entire week that's what good teams do. Good teams do what they're supposed to do, and you asked about the motivational factor. It's homecoming, and that right there in itself is motivation enough for our kids. They get a chance to, see Riz walk the Hall of Fame members out, and certainly, to be back home in front of our home crowd again, and it's going to be a beautiful atmosphere, and we're looking forward to it. But like I said, I think the kids have all the motivation that they need as far as coming back home, and then just another opportunity, and like I said, our kids kind of relish in the fact that let's get in, let's get the job done, and let's get out and get some of these younger kids in and get some experience as well.
Well, it's been a fun week. Obviously, you had the parade, and you've got the different spirit days and all of that, and we talk about your pregame prep, and I'm sure the football side is all the same. Nothing changes there for you as a coach. But we haven't talked about your post-game a lot, and I know some of us that have talked to you off camera know kind of what a Friday through Sunday looks like, but the folks at home really haven't heard kind of what happens with Coach Adkins immediately following a Friday night action, win or lose, until Sunday. And I know it probably changes based on the wins or losses, but walk us through that weekend post-game routine for Coach Adkins.
Yeah, it's, again, probably not a shocker to anybody, but as soon as the game's over, I'm diving into the film, uploading our previous night's game film, getting that uploaded, getting it all tagged, and so that the coaches can then go back and review it themselves and grade out our kids, and then I'll share it with the next upcoming opponent. We trade film, and as soon as I get theirs back, I'll basically do the same thing, start tagging it, and really kind of diving into the nuts and bolts of what our scouting report or game plan might look like, and that's again for me that starts Friday night and then into Saturday morning. I love college football, but I don't get to watch much of it, especially during the season, and again that's okay. I love what I get the chance to do. So. But it is a lot of hours put into it. But again, so as we go through Saturday, I'll spend all day Saturday again breaking down the tendencies, whether it's the formations and maybe what they run out of it, and then the flip side. I like to have some thoughts or some input for our offensive staff as well. And then we get into Sunday, and Sunday I'm usually up here about 9 a.m. I get to sleep in a little bit, but I'm changing the sign for our next opponent. I'm updating the stats on max preps. I'm sending out a parent email. I mean, I could go on for days, but I finally bring the coaches in about 1 o'clock, and that's that's where we have our staff meeting. I bring in both coordinators and then Coach Pogue as well, our special teams coordinator. Bring those guys in. And we sit down and kind of hash out all of our thoughts. Obviously those guys are working Fridays and Saturdays as well, getting all their game plan notes together. We'll spend about good 2 to 3 hours here, really just dissecting, going over everything, making sure that when we leave, we feel really good about the game plan, and then get ready to implement it on Monday. So.
It's a full weekend. Well, Illinois is at home tonight. Well, you won't see this until Friday, but maybe you can catch part of that game. We've talked a lot about various aspects of the program. We've talked about different coaches, different people, but there's a lot that goes into a Friday night and football in general. I'd like to see if there's someone or something involved in the program that maybe doesn't get the spotlight or is very underappreciated. If you had anyone that comes to mind that you can talk about here on Bulldog TV, it's your show. So.
Well, that's a great question. But again, it's really hard for me to limit it, to just to maybe one or a few. I could go on for days about, George Stevens and all the camera work that he does for us to be able to have us upload our practice film, and everybody else that's involved throughout this entire process, the Bulldog Gridiron Club, right? I could go on for days about them and those people, and again, just appreciate everything, the behind the scenes work, like you said, that maybe doesn't get announced or get spoken about as much as some of the others. And I know we've mentioned a few coaches, but Coach Berner and Coach Turek, they got to sit down with you at the pregame show, and again, those guys should be highlighted. They got a lot of stuff on their plate, but I kind of want to take it a step further and highlight some of those assistant coaches who do a lot of the grunt work or the behind the scenes work. Again, whether it's taking down Tent City after a game, helping us load the bus, again, cleaning off the field after the game, whether it's, practice field as well. But, guys who maybe don't get their name, announced enough. Keith Pogue had an awesome special this Tuesday in the News Gazette, the program. That was awesome, very well deserved. Happy for him, and again, extremely grateful to have him on staff. So he's another one that kind of gets announced a lot. But, names like Brad Anderson, who's our running back coach and our head JV coach. Again, our JV team's undefeated right now. Brad's doing a great job with those guys. Nate Sievers is our offensive line coach. And again, if you've seen us play, our offensive line is absolutely the backbone of what makes our offense. And so really appreciate Coach and all his hard work that he puts in. Blake Begner is a student teacher for us right now. He actually played for me back in 2014 in Peoria. Really lucky to have him. He's student teaching with Keith, and then obviously kind of working under him as far as the quarterbacks are concerned. And then Clayton Murphy is also on the offensive staff, coaching wide receivers, and again, just doing an awesome job, giving those guys their one-on-one individual time. We're blocking really well, and that's due in large part to the drills that Coach Murphy puts those guys through. So again, just extremely excited or proud of that offensive side of the ball. Then on the defensive side of the ball, some other names that we don't hear about that much. John Lewis is our linebackers coach. Again, we probably have the 3 best linebackers in the state of Illinois, in my opinion. And he's doing an awesome job with those guys, working really hard. They're getting some good drill work in and just continuing to get better than they already were. And then in the secondary, Jason Murphy is our DB's coach. And again, 5 guys, he's got the most guys to kind of facilitate back there, and they're doing a great job. A lot of them have started for him for multiple years, and so to bring back that experience, again, they just continue to get better. And then on our lower levels, Coach Rob Gallagher is our head freshman coach. And again, this program wouldn't be where it is today without a foundation, without the base work, right? And so those guys come into high school, and basically Coach Gallagher is their first chance that they get at Bulldog football. And Rob does a great job with those guys, and really happy for him, proud of him and thankful for him. And then Brady Lehman is a new coach on staff this year. He's going He's our freshman defensive coordinator. He's working really hard, doing a great job. We're excited to have him. And again, he's about to, have his first child as well. So we hope that child grows up to be a Bulldog as well. Keep Brady around for a while. And then Coach Kyle Clapper is also a freshman assistant, first year on staff. And again, just some names that I get the privilege to say and tell Bulldog TV about that just don't get spoken about enough. But again, our program would not be what it is without these guys, and I thank them, and I know our players do as well, and so I'm glad that I get the opportunity to shout those guys out. So
yeah, I'm glad you did too, because it definitely takes a village. It's easy to not understand the amount of people and teamwork it takes to get these boys where they're at. So family strong, of course. Right. We're excited. Tonight is a big night. Fall is here, and it's going to be a beautiful night for football. Tune in to Bulldog TV tonight, where we host Charleston in its homecoming. That's it for this week's edition of the Coach Adkins Show. We'll see you next time.